All right, Michael, number 18. Michael, you wrote a piece on foxnews.com, and rather than using the old standby of media reference or movie reference to election, you went with Mean Girls. I'll read from Michael's piece, and then you'll tell us why you wrote it. Inside the White House, the Regina Georges of Biden's inner circle ruled like mean girls and policed loyalty. Staff weren't serving a president and first lady; they were serving a cult. You never knew when Regina was in charge or when the Bidens were. It was all blurred. Joe and Joe Biden were warm, decent, empathetic, but they enabled some of the nastiest and most mean-spirited people I've ever encountered in politics. The contradiction defines the Biden era. Do we have a second screen here? Yeah. Biden's bullies dragged him down and tried to drag Harris down with him. Now they're out for her again. Recently, we saw a glimpse of that vindictiveness when a few of my former teammates reacted with ugly and, of course, blind quotes to the release of Harris's book excerpts. Michael, I agree with you, but I have two bones to pick with you, which I'll pick in a moment. But tell people why you wrote the piece.
Sure. So I wrote it because after the excerpts were released from Kamala Harris's book, I a few of the things she said, I really just identified with. Like I identified with what she was saying about how she was treated, and the things that people inside the White House, inside the Biden campaign, were doing, and to push her down or to sort of, I mean, look, there was a lot of things that were done to them that were not helpful, that were directed specifically at the vice president, it sounds like. And but from the way she talked about her experience, my experience felt really similar. And I felt like I might as well just talk about some of this stuff out loud.
Yeah. All right. Again, I agree with you about the Mean Girls. I know who you're talking about, and I agree with you. But here are the two bones I want to pick with you. First of all, in terms of the vice president, I think a part of what she's doing, though, is rewriting history. And she's not been particularly kind in the book to some of her fellow Democrats. So I don't think you can say that she's blameless here for what happened to her. I think she was treated.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay. But here's the other thing. And this is in my opinion. This is a fact. You write what nice, kind, decent people the Bidens are. In my understanding and talking to many sources for decades, the Bidens treat a lot of their staff very poorly.
That's fair.
Is that not true?
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. I'm speaking about my own experience here. My op-ed. They treated me. They treated me very well.
And they treat some people who are favored very well.
Look, I was inside that traveling bubble, and that's a very different place. It's much smaller. It's more familiar. Specifically when you're working for the spouse. I think Richard Ben Kramer called it the better bubble. And it definitely was. Yeah. Jill Biden was very mom-like. And I still love her. And sometimes I cry thinking about her because she doesn't deserve all this. Yeah. But at the same time, like the vice president said, I really struggle with some resentment and disappointment and about some of the enabling they did of some really bad people who advise them poorly, who they won't get rid of for some reason, even though their legacy keeps getting worse by the day. They still won't let go of these people. And I was really disappointed because, you know what, Mark, as a mom, when she saw what her husband's staff tried to go after me and do and smear me the way that her son has smeared, I saw her tears. Like I saw them. And I wish she could have seen my own mother's tears when they did this awful. There's people like Andrew Bates and Kelsey Donahue and TJ Ducklow when they came after me just because I said, why is Biden not doing interviews? For a couple months, I was consistent. I didn't understand why they were whining about polls and they were disengaging from the public. I didn't understand it, but it wasn't my job to flack for them either.
I hear you. Very well said. Go to foxnews.com, read Michael's piece. It's really excellent. This episode brought to you by Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth makes incredible sheets, bedding, shirts, and the pants, which you hear me talk about all the time. And we'd like you to be able to experience the comfort and joy of Cozy Earth products. The bedding comes with a 100-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty, but you won't need those. You'll want to keep it. Go to CozyEarth.com right now. Use the promo code 2way. Save 40% off the entire site. Couldn't be more comfortable. And as you heard me say before, you can wear the pants anywhere. I have another dinner tonight out. I wouldn't say it's super fancy, but it's a little fancy, and I'll be wearing the pants. And people just either not notice them or notice them and say how nice they look. Cozy Earth products are viscose made from bamboo. They're very breathable, very comfortable, but again, they look great, very soft. Go to cozyearth.com right now. Use the code 2way, 40% off the best pants, shirts, everything. And do a post-purchase survey. Tell them you heard about Cozy Earth right here. That'll help us out. So please do that. Built for real life, made to keep up with yours, Cozy Earth. Thank you for your attention to that matter.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and two-way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.